Hi everyone. I wanted to give you some more information about the Promises curriculum that we'll be using this fall in place of our normal Sunday school time here at church. This is a curriculum, the Promises curriculum is one that we've used before here in our church, one that was written by our staff a number of years ago. I was reading through the script that we used the last time that we ran this back in 2018, and I was reading through some of the goals, and I just wanted to share one of them, or two of them with you actually this morning. The goal of this time, the goal of this program together, is that we might all understand God's unique promises made to us and made known to us through His people, through the Bible, through His Word, through baptism, through the Lord's Supper, communion, and through the church. And that by knowing these promises, that we'll all be encouraged to respond to God with promises of our own, promises to receive Him and to follow Him. Those are great promises for us to think about, and great goals, I think, for us to think about as we embark on this promises journey together. But what to expect? Every Friday when the email comes out from our church office that contains our connections, there'll be a link in there to that week's lesson. That'll begin next Sunday, September 27. It'll also be attached to the email that goes out on Sunday morning that contains the link to our live stream service as well. This will happen for the next 9 weeks, all the way up until Thanksgiving. That'll start Advent, and we'll have something different planned for the time of Advent. But this will be take place for these 9 weeks. What you can expect is about 15 to 20 minutes worth of a lesson to do together with your family. There'll be videos, one from myself introducing kind of what's going on that week, and one from another member of our church sharing a story from their own faith journey about the topic for that week. There'll also be some discussion questions you can talk about together with your family or with whoever you're doing this with, and there might even be some activities to do along the way as well. Really, this is geared mostly towards our grade school and our middle school students and towards some of our families, but I really would encourage everyone to watch the videos and to think through the questions together. I think these are applicable to all of us in all of our faith journeys. And I'll be really honest, the stories that some of the members of our church are going to share with all of us over the next 9 weeks, actually, and then again after Christmas, are really exciting. And it's great to be able to see not only the faces of members of our church, but to hear some of their stories and some of their faith journeys as well. I'd also encourage you to set up a time and a routine. It's one of the things I think that we've gotten away from the most during this pandemic, and while we've been doing things differently, is to have this routine. And so I would encourage you to set a routine. Maybe it's 11 o'clock on Sunday morning that works for you to do this together with your family. Maybe it's another time throughout the week. But set that time and try to keep that time over the next 9 weeks. As we think together and look together at God's promises, I was thinking about this a little bit this week and reading through some scripture. I came to the book of Lamentations, of all things, Lamentations chapter 3, and I was reading this in the middle of the author of Lamentations talking through and lamenting so many things. He says this. He says, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassion, His mercies never fail. They are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness." That's one of the promises God makes to us, that His promises to us, His mercies, His compassion on us is new every morning, and His faithfulness is always great. A good reminder for us right now. But I wanted to give you maybe a couple questions to think about today as we prepare to start this journey together next Sunday. I wanted to think maybe talk together with your family, or maybe talk with those that you're around about two things. What role do promises play in your life? What promises have you made? What promises are important? So what role do promises play in your life? And I also wanted you to think about this. This is the second question. What promises does God make to us in Scripture? What promises can you think of, or can you find evidence of in Scripture that God promises us, His children, certain things? Now, I wanted to also offer, as you're thinking about this, I wanted to also note that having faith conversations with our families isn't necessarily always easy. It's not necessarily something that always comes natural to us. So if you're nervous about this, if you're maybe apprehensive a little bit, go ahead and give me a call. I'd love to talk through how this might work in a family setting, maybe some pointers or some tips. I'm always here to help. And so you feel free to call me in our church office or call my cell phone, or send me an email anytime over the next week or so. I'm really excited for the opportunity for our church family to walk through this journey of discovering God's promises, relearning maybe for some of us what God's promises are to us through His Word, through the sacraments of baptism and communion, and through the community that He's placed us in of His church. So I'm excited for this journey for the next 9 weeks for us to take, and we'll see where this goes. So thanks for joining me, and again, I look forward to this opportunity for our church family.